मॉर्निंग ऑल ऑफ यू। जैसे कि आपको पता है कि इन दिस पेंडेमिक अटैक ऑफ कोरोना वायरस all the classes will be going to be online, so we will start our third year topic, that is important plant physiology topic, that is respiration. Here we start. So हम आज इस टॉपिक में पढ़ने जा रहे हैं कि what is respiration, how it occurs and where it occur और what is its significance. ठीक है, तो हमें सबसे पहले रेस्पिरेशन का मतलब क्या होता है। रेस्पिरेशन का मतलब ये होता है द कन्वर्जन ऑफ ऑर्गेनिक सब्सटेंस दैट इज़ कॉम्प्लेक्स इन नेचर into a simpler molecule by stepwise, and we can call oxidation of complex compound into simple molecule, subsequently released by releasing ATP, and the last product is CO2 and water. So I will give a little bit summary. As we all know that photosynthesis occur in presence of light. The sunlight and CO2 and water, what they make, that is glucose and other products. So in the photosynthesis, plant utilizes CO2 and water, and the light energy is transferred to chemical energy, that is glucose, and glucose further converted into sucrose and then further converted into starch, that is a complex polysaccharide. So we say that it's a reserve food material and it's a food. So what is mean by food, the substance which provide the energy. So here we study how the energy will be disseminate from this process. It's a stepwise sequential process. So as during photosynthesis, light energy is transferred to chemical energy, and by breaking the chemical bond of stored substrate into energy currency, that is ATP, and we liberate ATP as adenosine triphosphate. Now look to its diagram. Just a minute. You can see this is ATP molecule. Sorry. This is ATP molecule, and in this molecule you are seeing a ribose sugar, that is hexose sugar, which is attached to nitrogenous base at carbon first, and at fifth carbon there is 3 phosphodiester bond. By releasing this bond, by breaking this bond, a consequently amount of energy is released, and this energy is used to conduct various physiological process like transport of metabolite from shoot to root and other part of the plant, and in DNA replication, in transcription, and all other essential processes. So now in respiration we will focus how ATP is formed. So there is two type of respiration. That is aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. What means aerobic? Aerobic respiration means oxidation of organic matter in presence of oxygen. जब ऑक्सीजन की प्रेजेंस में जब कोई ऑर्गेनिक मैटर ऑक्सीडाइज होता है उसको हम बोलते हैं एरोबिक रेस्पिरेशन. एरोबिक रेस्पिरेशन इन प्रेजेंस ऑफ ऑक्सीजन होगा हमेशा, और इसमें एटीपी का फॉर्मेशन ज़्यादा होगा और इसमें एनर्जी ज़्यादा रिलीज़ होगी. यदि आपका ग्लूकोज मॉलिक्यूल ब्रेक डाउन होता है तो अराउंड 2870 किलो जूल एनर्जी इसमें रिलीज होती है, जो बहुत ज़्यादा सफिशिएंट होती है, और एरोबिक रेस्पिरेशन में नंबर ऑफ एटीपीज हमेशा ज़्यादा बनते हैं. एंड एनारोबिक रेस्पिरेशन इज एनएरोबिक, मतलब एब्सेंस ऑफ ऑक्सीजन. देन एब्सेंस ऑफ ऑक्सीजन में क्या होता है, इनकम्प्लीट ऑक्सीडेशन होता है ऑर्गेनिक मैटर का इन अदर सिंपल मॉलिक्यूल, एंड द substrate which are going to be oxidized is known as respiratory substrate, and it can be carbohydrate, protein, fat. It can be either carbohydrate, protein and fat. So we will focus at carbohydrate, that is made up of glucose, as carbohydrate is polysaccharide and glucose is monosaccharide. So glucose have most higher RQ, that is respiratory quotient, and glucose are easily digested, easily oxidized. Okay, anaerobic respiration mainly take place in bacteria and fungi. As you know, bacteria doesn't have chlorophyll, okay, and fungi is also heterotropic nutrition and lack chlorophyll, so they don't have the capacity to photosynthesize. Okay, so for their respiration they do in absence of oxygen. Now ATP is formed as a process, as a reaction. In this stepwise sequence the energy is released, so we can say it's an exergonic reaction. Exergonic reaction means energy is released and this energy is trapped under ATP. So when other reaction occur, for example A plus B occur, then ATP transfer its energy to A plus B, and it subsequently convert into C plus D. That is, the endogonic reaction is coupled by ATP. Endogonic reaction is coupled by ATP. Okay, so here we study where is mitochondria present. This is plant cell, as you know, and this organelle, that is shoe shape organelle, is known as mitochondria. Now we look mitochondria, that what it have double layer membrane under which a zigzag folding is present, that is known as cristae, and the space between outer layer and inner layer is known as intermembrane space, and it also possesses DNA. That's why we call it as semi-autonomous body. So it have the DNA, so it can do its own replication, and in the DNA is present in the matrix, and there are also ribosome present. So why I am just elaborating this structure, because all the respiratory process occur by this organelle. As it consists, this respiration, aerobic respiration I am talking about, it consists of 3 steps, that is glycolysis, second is Krebs cycle, and third is electron transport chain, that is ETC. So the glycolysis occur in cytoplasm, and the Krebs cycle occur in matrix, and ETC occur in intermembrane space. So let me start how this glycolysis take place, how the product of glycolysis transferred in a matrix, and how the Krebs cycle occur. Then after Krebs cycle, how ETC occur. So it's just an overview. I'm just saying all diagrams are taken from a textbook, that is Raven. So you are looking that the glucose undergoes under glycolysis. As we know, glucose is 6 carbon molecule, and it is converted into 3 carbon molecule. As you see, the number of carbon decrease as 6 carbon is converted into 3 carbon molecule, and subsequently release NADH. NADH is a strong reducing agent, and by this NADH you will get 3 ATP at last. So it release the ATP, and subsequently it release the ATP also. The ATP which is released on during substrate reaction is known as substrate phosphorylation. So after the pyruvate form, that is 3 carbon molecule, and this 3 carbon molecule is converted into acetyl coenzyme A, that is 2 carbon molecule, and this acetyl coenzyme A enter into matrix where it undergo in Krebs cycle by subsequently releasing carbon, and at last it will form ATP plus GTP, and at last it undergoes in ETC, that occur in intermembrane space, and by chemiosmosis ATP synthetase, that is F1 particle, it will form further ATP. Okay. So we will start with glycolysis. This is also a pathway, but in this diagram the overview is seeing that sucrose is stored, and sucrose is converted into hexose phosphate, then hexose converted into triose phosphate, then it is converted into organic acid, that is malic acid, and is stored for some time, and malic acid is directly transferred to the matrix of mitochondria, where it is undergoes citric acid cycle, then citric acid cycle release NADH, FADH and CO2, and further this NADH and FADH is used in ETC. Okay, and so we will go for the glycolysis. So in this is preparatory phase, and near the last is payoff phase. प्रिपरेटरी फेज मतलब कोई भी चीज किसी भी प्रोसेस के अंदर एंटर करती है. सो यू आर सीइंग दैट 6 कार्बन मॉलिक्यूल, दैट इज ग्लूकोज is converted into glucose 6 phosphate in presence of hexokinase. And what is the main key point? Where is kinase is used? Kinase is an enzyme. It always utilize ATP. It will utilize the ATP, and ATP is converted into ATP because kinase is attachment of phosphate on any group. So this glucose 6 phosphate is converted into fructose 6 phosphate in the presence of enzyme that is known as phosphoglucoisomerase. Then fructose 6 phosphate is converted into fructose 1,6 biphosphate by dissociation ATP, and in the presence of phosphofructokinase. And here you look at this enzyme, that is third enzyme, is very very crucial because it's regulate the all glycolysis process. It is regulated by some manner. I will teach you in next section. And this glucose 6 phosphate split into 3 carbon compound, that is glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate, and other is DHAP, that is dihydroxyacetone phosphate, and these two are isomers. These are same in structures but have some differences. So further it will the NAD is reduced to NADH in presence of that you are seeing that triose phosphate dehydrogenase. It will remove the hydrogen atom. So the it will reduce the process of oxidation and reduction. So the 1,3-phosphoglycerate is converted into phosphoglycerate, and here what is important, that here the ATP is formed. So it is first for substrate level phosphorylation. You will just study the substrate level of phosphorylation in photosynthesis at Z cycle and cyclic pathway. Here you are just getting 2 ATP. Then this phosphoglycerate is converted into 2-phosphoglycerate in the presence of phosphoglycerate mutase. And remember, these enzymes are very essential. You have to remember is you have to make the mnemonics. There is no excuse. You have to learn. So the glycerate is converted to phosphoryl pyruvate by subsequently releasing the water. As water is released, it is converted into PEP, that is phosphoryl pyruvate. And you are seeing that phosphoryl pyruvate is converted into pyruvate by releasing the phosphate group. So this is the glycolysis. And where is it occurring? It occurs in cytoplasm. And three scientists discovered this process is Emerden, Marinoff and Parson. That's why it is known as EMP pathway. And it's one of the most common interesting thing is that it occur in aerobic as well as anaerobic respiration. It is common in both animals and plant, and it occur always in cytoplasm, and the pyruvate is transferred to mitochondria, then it is converted into acetyl coenzyme. So this process is common in both process, in aerobic respiration and in anaerobic presence. There is no requirement of oxygen here, and in this reaction you saw that there is no oxygen requirement, there is no CO2 requirement. Yes, only ATP and NADPH is formed, and this NADPH will be utilized in further ETC process. You will see how this NADPH is transferred to ETC. So these three processes are interconnected, and at last we will know how much ATP is gained by one cycle. I am telling about one cycle, I am not telling about whole cycle. So we will continue in next session.